Good morning and welcome to another video. It feels weird to start this video on a Wednesday, but without further ado, we will start prepping our meals. We'll be using this beef to make Japanese curry and our chicken to make our chicken adobo. And no matter how many times I have made this meal, I always look at my cookbook. To start, we're gonna pat our beef with a paper towel. I then cut my beef to bite-sized pieces. This looks big, but they will shrink once you cook them. We are making 2 servings of the Japanese curry. So right after you cut these in pieces, we're just gonna put them in a bowl and we're gonna start marinating them with salt, pepper, oil. I also ran out of the curry powder, but we will add that later after I go grocery shopping. After mixing all the ingredients, we're gonna cover this with a saran wrap. And whenever you guys are marinating anything, it always needs to marinate in the fridge. If there is one tool in the kitchen I can't live without, it's my scraper tool. We will now start with our chicken adobo, pat them dry with a paper towel. We will also add a lot of garlic, 1 cup of vinegar, and 1 cup of soy sauce. We will also add half a cup of water, some peppercorns, and some bay leaves, and some brown sugar. All the ingredients I put in this bowl are basically all the ingredients.
And we're likely going to marinate this overnight and cook it tomorrow. It's about 3:21 right now. I just got back from errands. Before we start cooking, my throat is really bothering me, so I bought some miso soup. Before we make our miso soup, I want to put the curry powder to our meat. When you guys season this, season it generously. And then we're gonna mix it. I think the difference is one's tofu and then one's shiro. I think I'm gonna go with tofu. 2 packs, and then we're just gonna pour some water in. That's good.
We're gonna start prepping the rest of our ingredients for Japanese curry. This might look like a lot of onions, but once we caramelize them, they will reduce in size. We're gonna start off with some oil in our pan, add in our onions, and we're going to caramelize this until it's translucent. Halfway cooking the onions, I noticed that this needs to be cooked in a bigger pot. There is nothing better than a hot soup when you have a sore throat. Once the onions are translucent, we will take it out, and then we're going to cook our beef until all sides are brown. When the beef is ready, we will add our onions and we're gonna mix it, and then we're gonna put some water. During the process, our beef is going to look like this. That is normal. We're just going to stir our pot. Once it simmers, we will cover it up and let it cook for 1 hour. While that's cooking, I'm going to chill and catch up with some anime. 40 minutes in, and we will finish prepping all of our ingredients with some carrots and some potatoes, and you just need to cut these into bite-sized pieces. I like to mix the carrots first and the potatoes later with the rest of the ingredients. Now I'm just grating the apple. I know this is weird, but this is the secret recipe, and we're also going to add 100% of cacao. I like slicing the curry mix because it dissolves faster. After half an hour, we will add our potatoes and cook it for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we will add the rest of the ingredients. As I was mixing the coconut milk, I definitely noticed I bought the wrong coconut milk. The coconut milks I bought were 60% less fat. I usually buy the real coconut milks because they're thicker. After mixing all our ingredients, we'll let it cook for 10 minutes. And then you can try and see if you need to add more salt.
Try to get everything in your first bite here. That's hot.
Good morning, and for my first meal, it's not my typical breakfast, but since my throat hurts, that's the reason why I'm having miso and rice, and also I'm gonna have some strawberry. For my second meal, I'm having some marinated tofu with some vegetables. I made this a couple days ago, so I'm not able to show you guys how to make them. Today is actually the sickest I've felt this week, and so I just been home resting and trying to get my energy back up. But after this meal, I had some tofu dessert. I wasn't able to show you my last meal of the day, but I did have some leftover Japanese curry as my last meal. It's Friday and I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm back to eating my regular breakfast. I'm making some vegetarian sausage muffin. These sausage patties are vegan, We're gonna fry both sides evenly, and after we fry them, we will add our cheese and we'll also add our eggs. These English muffins are so good. As you can see, the egg already exploded and they're so easy to make. And if you're looking for something that's easy and quick and also tastes good, I think you should give this a try. As some of you know, this is past my meal time. I fast after 6 p.m, but since I was at work, it's okay to break the rules sometime. It is 6:31 p.m. and I wasn't able to take any video of my first meal, but it was at my church potluck and there were mostly vegetarian foods. As for my last meal of the day, I'm having some leftover Japanese curry and some pineapple.
It is Sunday today. It's about 11:17. And what I have here for my first meal is some oatmeal. I also put some hemp seeds, some chia seeds, some strawberry, walnuts, and sunflower seeds.
Before finishing my meal, I had to go start my car and it was freezing and I went back inside to finish my meal. I'm gonna do some work and errands, and then when I get back, I'm finally cooking my chicken adobo, which has been sitting in my fridge for about 4 days now because I didn't have the energy. In a big pan, we're going to start off with cooking our chicken both sides until they are golden brown. This is going to make a lot of mess, and so that's why I'm covering it with a screener. While cooking the adobo, I'm going to have my second meal and I'm going to add some Japanese seasoning just to add some extra flavor. We're just flipping our chicken here, and after we're going to add all of those ingredients in our bowl into our pan, and we were just gonna evenly spread the garlics and bay leaves throughout our pan, and after that we will cover it with our foil. After covering this with foil, we're gonna let this cook for 45 minutes, and after 45 minutes we will open the foil and we're gonna cook it for another 45 minutes. And every 10 to 15 minutes you want to take a spoon and you want to spread that sauce on top of the chicken just to make sure that they're all glazed up. And once you find that consistency in the sauce, you are basically done. I'm gonna cut up some green onions to garnish and also add boiled egg. The only way to eat chicken adobo is with rice, and as you can see here, I'm loving it. Going to have some banana and tofu after this. It's 12:51 on a Monday and I'm gonna have some steak. What I'm doing here, I'm just patting it dry, and we're going to add some oil and we're going to season it. I like my steak room temperature, so I take it out 1 hour before cooking it. I like to do the reverse sear method when cooking my steak. Put it in for 275 for 20 minutes in the oven. Once your steak reaches 119 internal temperature, you take it out of the oven, and that's when you're gonna start frying 1 minute each side until you reach your desired temperature. I like to eat my steak on top of rice with some avocado and steak sauce. Once you get your desired temperature inside, you just want to cook the steak on all sides just to get that even sear. I'm just getting rid of some oil before I start cooking my steak sauce, and I put in some shallots. We're gonna let that cook, and then we're gonna add our beef stock. Let them introduce each other before adding our whipping cream. After we add our heavy cream, we're just gonna mix this and we're gonna add some butter, and then we're gonna let it reduce until we find the consistency. My steak turned out perfect, as you can see. We're going to add our steak sauce on top of the steak and avocado. For our last meal of the day, we're having some leftover Japanese curry. I haven't had a chance to make the Vietnamese iced coffee, but now I'm going to show you guys how to make it. What I have here is some Vietnamese condensed milk that I got from my local Walmart. I also got this coffee bean off of Amazon. I will link it down in the description. And we're going to use about a heaping scoop for a cup of water. I'll also link down this French press I got from Amazon in my description. I like to mix my condensed milk when the coffee is still hot, because when the coffee is cold, it's hard for the condensed milk to mix together. After letting it sit for 5 minutes, we're gonna start slowly pressing down. And I like to let the coffee cool down in the fridge before mixing the ice. And as for our last day here, I'm just having my leftover steak that I didn't finish from yesterday. And I only ate once today because I was so busy. As we are coming to an end of my video, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.